Welcome to Tea Time, my friends, a place where I muse about my gender transition experiences and in the process aim to comfort and inspire others to a greater level of self-awareness. I am Artemis, and this video is going to be a rather long video, so it contains all of the clips from right before my top surgery to major points along the way, ending with the point that I'm at now, which is a little bit more than 2 weeks after the surgery's been done, so there's still lots of healing to do, but the majority of things are pretty much over with. So if you want to skip to the very end and just see the before and after the surgery, in the comment section below I have put a rough timestamp for you so that you can see the end result if you don't want to watch the entire video since it's kind of long. Otherwise, you can stay tuned and enjoy all of the clips from right before surgery, right after surgery, waking up from anesthesia, and then some major checkpoints along the way. So, but initially in this little intro, in case you didn't want to watch all the way through, I just wanted to run through some of the highlights, I guess, from this whole experience, things that I've taken away from it, and hope to give to you guys in case you don't want to stick around and watch all of the clips all the way through. It's kind of a long video. Meanwhile, we are enjoying an iced cup of dark cocoa raspberry truffle tea from the Rose and Vine Tea Company. Quite lovely. Here in a newer mug that I got commemorating a hotel on Disney World property that is for military personnel and their family members, Department of Defense as well. My dad is a retired Marine, so we get a chance to enjoy this hotel, all the shades of green. Anyway, right now I'm missing a little bit of Disney because they've been closed down for a few days as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. So this is a momentous time in history and not exactly a very happy one. We're all very sad for a number of reasons, but commemorating a little bit of Disney here in this video. So some highlights real quick, takeaways from this experience. The first of which, for me, not realizing just how much paperwork and just how many loops I've had to jump through to get this surgery. There are a lot of mental health issues associated still with the transgender community. It's still a rather new concept for a lot of people, even though transgender has been around probably since the beginning of humans. And the surgery almost didn't happen because I ran down to almost a few days before the surgery having trouble securing a piece of paperwork from a therapist because I had to have seen a therapist before getting this surgery done. And my thoughts on that, and as well as basically talking about that more in depth, will be in another video that I'll do. But there's a lot of things that you've got to get your ducks in a row on when it comes to getting this surgery. And I really did not realize that that was going to be a thing, and it's pretty particular to having this type of surgery or anything associated with gender reassignment. So again, more on that in another video, but that is something that I didn't realize. I didn't expect it to be such a big deal. So things that I did also in preparation for the surgery, the surgeon that I used told me strictly no drinking and no smoking 30 days prior to the surgery and at least 6 weeks after, because both smoking and drinking have such a detrimental effect to your healing ability. Smoking, the nicotine constricts your blood vessels, which makes getting blood supply to things like nipple grafts and areas that are healing much more difficult and could be detrimental to your healing. And they take it so seriously that the morning of my surgery I had to submit a urine sample for them to test it to make sure that I hadn't smoked any cigarettes, I hadn't had any alcohol, and of course any, the range of probably illegal drugs as well. But that's something to keep in mind, that you can't just say that you haven't been smoking or drinking beforehand. They will test you, at least the surgeon does, to make sure that you will heal as well as you can after the surgery. Also, make sure you don't plan any vacation or any time near a beach or a pool or anything like that where you plan to get in the water after your surgery. They told me 6 weeks. I would have to wait before I could get into a pool or, submerge myself in water, basically, hot tubs, anything like that. So that's a good long time, 6 weeks, to make sure that doesn't coincide with, a vacation or anything that you've got planned. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time. As far as the anesthesia goes, I've been under anesthesia once or twice before for surgeries, and not necessarily a huge deal besides the nausea that I used to get with that. But it took me the better part of a week and a half to really start to feel like myself again. The brain fog, not being able to find words as easily, and really not even feeling comfortable enough to drive myself anywhere, something that was really unusual for me. I'm very, very stubbornly independent, so to just feel that brain fog and that disconnected feeling for a week and a half after surgery was really kind of alarming to me. So that's something, I guess, that I wanted people to know about, to keep in mind, maybe, that obviously this surgery, initially for the first several days, you're pretty dependent on somebody to do a lot of things for you. Your range of motion and, of course, pain and caring for the wounds and things like that, you need another person for, but I didn't realize just how much longer I might have needed somebody simply because of the brain fog from anesthesia. And that might not be everybody's experience, but it was for me. On that same note, again, that the pain for the first 3 to 5 days, despite having some pretty good pain meds, for me, was awful. Yeah, I have a million tattoos, and pain has never really been my forte. It's not something that I do very well. I'm pretty sensitive to it, as much as I hate to admit. But yeah, that first 3 to 5 days was pretty awful. So that's something that, of course, nobody wants to experience, but something that I guess you kind of might be good to mentally prepare for. I'd watched other people's videos about this particular surgery, so I knew about the nipple bolsters for the nipple grafts and the drains that they put in your chest. It's a whole other thing to actually have to be sitting in a body experiencing that. So in case this is your first video watching on this top surgery, what to expect, you'll see in the video further they install, right after surgery, or during surgery anyway, these drains that are basically sitting inside your chest for the first week at least after your surgery to help release the fluid that your body's producing while it's healing in those areas. And a really uncomfortable experience all around. What I could feel of it currently, here 2 weeks out after surgery, I can't feel my armpits and anything across this portion of my chest. I'm starting to get feeling like right here in the center of my sternum, but then as I go further down, I can't feel it. And the surgeon did say that, as you'll see in the video, the surgeon did say it could be a long time, months or maybe even a year, before I regain feeling in most of my chest again, which I didn't really think about. I figured it would come back, soon enough, but I didn't realize it would be that long. So that's something else to keep in mind. Something else that I didn't really think about is the toll that it may take on your caregiver, the person that is taking care of you while you are down. I've been such an independent person that I just didn't realize how much I would rely on somebody else. And apparently when I'm coming out of anesthesia and I'm in a lot of pain, I'm kind of a jerk. And my poor wife suffered quite a bit of my crankiness while I was recovering. So I would say, as much as you can possibly prepare for it beforehand, prepare your partner and yourself to be as empathetic and kind as you possibly can during that period, because it will challenge you in that way. Right now, with the way that my chest looks, I think it looks good. Something to be prepared for, though, is the fact that, your chest muscles may not be as developed as you might see a cis-born male. unless you've been doing a lot of working out beforehand, which I hadn't done much of that beforehand. I kind of wanted to maintain just what I looked like with the effects of the testosterone alone for the first year or so. And then as I recovered, obviously have to wait a little while before I can start working out. So bear in mind that what you're seeing up top may look pretty misshapen. You look pretty scooped out, especially from the side. It's very concave, and then if you've done no core exercises beforehand, you have whatever stomach you had before. So that's something that I noticed in the videos too. I guess be prepared to look a little wonky. I've mentioned to my wife before that I feel like I look like a turtle without its shell up top, because it does look a little disproportionate for now, so be prepared for that to be kind of awkward stage for a little while until you build muscle up and you work out a bit and the tissues start to return to some kind of normalcy afterwards. So I would recommend also during your recovery, so this worked out in a pretty timely manner for me with the whole toilet paper shortage for this pandemic, to get a bidet. So I bought a bidet in order to help clean myself so that I wouldn't have to burden my poor wife with that. And since it's hard to reach anywhere really after you've had the surgery for at least several days, it's very, very handy. So I would definitely recommend looking into a bidet. You can get one that fits most standard toilets. They're pretty easy to come by now, so I would say I would recommend that pretty solidly. I think I'm going to put a link in the description. I have an Amazon affiliate program, so if you'd like to support the videos of the channel or whatever I do and you're looking into buying a bidet, please consider purchasing that bidet from the link that I'm thinking about putting below. And last but not least would be the somewhat of the lingering mental effects of having been born a cis female. You know, you're not used to going outside without your shirt on. Before I had the surgery, would still have to check myself on the way out the door that I wasn't just walking out without a shirt on randomly, like to go get the mail or something, because I, in my head, never saw myself with breasts anyway, which is probably good confirmation that I was definitely in the right place getting them removed. I never liked them anyway. I still hesitate a little bit walking outside without my shirt on now after my surgery, even though it's, you know, it's all fine now. There's nothing there. There's still that little bit of mental social hang-up from having not been able to do that my whole life. So bear that in mind, that, you know, it's not going to be an immediate switch, that all of a sudden, because these are gone, that, you know, you'll have no lingering hang-ups that you have to work through or think about initially. And for me, I don't expect people all of a sudden to see me as male, because most of the time they're not able to see this anyway. I'm wearing a shirt. Even with a binder on, you could still tell in some ways that I was pretty flat, but you could still tell that I had breasts. So now I've noticed, though, that because I am so extra concave up here, that even if I don't have the facial hair and, you know, some other markers that might be more male, I pass a little bit more as a guy now, just because there really is nothing up here now. So that's actually pretty nice. I do enjoy that. I didn't expect that, but it's been a nice little bonus that it does seem to bump up my ability to pass right now. Anyway, so without further ado, we will get to all of the footage. Welcome to Tea Time, my friends, a place where I muse about my gender transition experiences and in the process aim to comfort and inspire others to a greater level of self-awareness. I am Artemis, and in this video you will not see me enjoying my usual cup of tea. No. Today is the start of a very special day. It's taken a lot of prep to get here, but I am in, well, actually I'm in Margate, Florida, which is near Delray Beach, where I'm going to be getting the titties removed today. It is T-Day, the day of the removal of the tissue tips, the titty tots, the tatas, and the tipples. It's a gorgeous morning. We're at an Airbnb, my wife and I, here in Margate. If you're ever looking for a wonderful place to stay, this is called the Happy Butterfly. Highly recommend them. They're awesome. Thank you, Jessica and Kelly, for your wonderful spot. Very peaceful spot to start the day. I'm starving right now because I've not been allowed to eat since midnight or drink anything since midnight, which for most people maybe not a big deal, but I eat like a cow. So right now I'm distracting myself with this lovely environment while I cannot eat anything. So in preparation for surgery, I am also marked up, and I have properly anointed myself with the Hibiclens antibacterial soap, which is rather harsh and obnoxious on my skin. But so we have done the proper prep work this morning before surgery. It is now, I think, 8:15. I'm due in at 10 o'clock. That blue jay has a lot to say this morning. So my feelings on the whole thing. Honestly, right now, trying not to think too much about what's about to happen. I'm more focused on the end goal, you know, what will be in a few months, finished, polished, nice product. Not looking forward to the actual thing itself, obviously. But I am definitely kind of nervous. Stomach's turning a little bit, thinking about going under anesthesia, but I know that I'll be out and then up before I realize anything happened. So that's the good part about it, I suppose. Just looking forward to the end of it, really, because it's been quite a process, which you'll see in another video, all the prep work it took to get to this point. And all the near disasters along the way as well that hopefully I'll help you avoid, because I ran into every single one of them along the way. So, you want to see a magic trick?
One nap later.
Artemis, how are you feeling?
Oh my god, I can't even keep my eyes open. Right
No?
now. I'm trying really hard to pop one open like a lizard, keep it open, but it's just not happening.
Oh, well, you're going to have more time to rest. I have to go get your wonderful pain medication from Walgreens here in a minute before we can roll your carcass out to the car.
Oh yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Do that.
Oh, do you remember anything from surgery?
Not a fucking thing.
What's your last memory before you took a nap?
Here, lay down here.
That was magenta. That's right.
Oh,
Yep, Journey was playing on the video.
nice.
Okay, this is good to go out.
Okay, so the music works before.
Yes.
Now we know.
Yeah, it's quite nice. It's a ambiance. So yeah, that's literally all I remember. I don't remember anything else.
That's good.
Oh, and spread your arms out like we're gonna fillet you.
Who said that?
Was that a quote? Was that an actual quote?
That's just me.
That's in your mind. Gotcha. Okay. Would you rate your pain level for your viewers?
Actually really good right now.
Really good?
Yeah.
Any, just tight, any body high going on? Any hallucinations? Anything fun to speak of?
No. There's
Nothing.
3 of you? Like 1, 2, 3. 3 of you in here. 4. Oh,
Four.
God.
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
She snuck up on you.
Right.
Right.
There's 5 including your girl.
She walked away for a minute, and that's where I am.
Oh, no.
I'm not one for details, though, so that might make sense. Okay.
Do you mind if I take a look at what you've got going on with the...
I can't do that. I gotta stay on.
Oh, no. I'm talking about all the
the
medical tubes
drains.
for your viewers so I can get a real understanding.
Yeah.
Lovely dreams.
Might as well.
Oh,
We'll
so,
have these in for like a week and a half or
Yeah.
so, hopefully.
yeah. So this is exactly what post-surgery looks like. This is not pretty.
No, not
This does
pretty.
not look fun.
No, because that's the thing. Most people post like most glorious part, and they skip all this stuff. In
All the real
between.
stuff.
Yeah,
And that's what we're trying to document.
It's like no, don't glorify it. You need to be prepared for that.
Yeah. 100%.
Thank you. Okay, so who do we have here for everyone watching who wants to be Instagram and YouTube famous? Chris?
All right, so this is Magenta.
Hi, Magenta.
We
Miss
normally
Magenta.
call her Magental because she's so soft and caring.
Oh, that's a
Very
wonderful
sweet.
nickname.
My name's Leah.
Hi, Leah.
I'm Vanessa. We also call her Nessie.
Nessie. All right, I like it.
And this is your wonderful nurse practitioner, Chris.
Who doesn't want to be on camera too much?
I'm just not camera ready right now.
I understand the struggle. Understand entirely.
I wish I had a hairnet now. Fix this hair.
Honey, do you have anything else to say?
No, that's perfect little snippet. We're good.
Excellent. This is Artemis signing off for Tea Time with Artemis.
That same evening.
It's 9:30 now, and I'm only just now starting to remember what I said, or even anything that I'm saying. The dizziness is real, but so far, so good. As you can see, they've had to install these drains for the fluid. Those will be in for a couple of weeks, from what I can tell. But some other things will be tended to before then. And if my body heals well enough, I'll get rid of the drains sooner. But for now, I've got these icky things attached. I can't much tell what's going on up here because of the compression garment. And the numbness. It's very numb. Literally, if I were to touch my compression garment, I can't even feel that I'm touching that, so. And anyway, I am back at the Airbnb. Probably gonna go to sleep after eating something, taking my happy drugs real soon. And I'm hoping tomorrow morning I'll be a little more with it, so I can talk to you guys a bit more tomorrow. But for now, more sleep. So, I will see you guys tomorrow.
Day 2.
Hey, Dr. Drew here from Inspire Aesthetics. We have our patient who's initially satisfied with their first reveal after opening the garment. He had a double incision, or commonly referred to as a top surgery today. And really what that is a bilateral simple mastectomy where we remove both breasts and do a free nipple graft. So the actual nipples are removed and then grafted into place. So these little yellow flower looking things are actually bolstering or holding the skin graft down to allow them to heal. We leave those on for about 5 days to let the skin grafts take. And then you see the incisions from the double incision surgery itself, and you notice that I have it ridged up or a little bit heaped up, and even more so they were heaped up yesterday. That helps to create a nice thin scar so there's no tension on the wound, and then those scars go down and settle down nice and flat as the patient heals. We also did a little bit of liposuction up around the chest and the anterior axillary folds, which we call bra folds or chest folds, and a little liposuction on the side of the chest here to keep that flat and to keep tissue fullness and dog ears down. So I also never connect the incision in the middle. I always take that incision a little bit vertically to avoid excess tissue in the center, but I do not like when an incision crosses the chest completely. I don't think that looks good. So this patient's done great. This is post-op day 1, so it's only a number of hours since surgery. Everything looks fantastic. The skin looks healthy. It's healing well. And this is kind of what things look like the day after surgery, and it's just going to get better and better every day after that.
Perfect. Good.
72 hours later.
Hey guys, it has been really painful, not gonna lie. I'm about ready to show you guys what my chest looks like without this binding garment on. I have seen it a couple of times since then because it's had to been opened and cleaned, but it's literally been so painful that there was no way that I could do a video at that point. So today it's tolerable enough that I can show you guys what's going on. It's healing really well, actually. The bruising I've got here up on my chest is actually from a little bit of liposuction that they did to get rid of the what the surgeon calls bra flaps, little fatty wings that hang out, so it looks a little more believable as a masculine chest once everything's healed up. And I had no idea liposuction would hurt that flippin' bad. Holy crap. But that's all done now, at least. And Wednesday, I believe today's Sunday, Wednesday we go back to the surgeon to have him remove these nipple bolsters. And at that point, the nipple grafts should have taken and stay where they're supposed to stay. So, yeah, I believe that's it, really. There's minimal swelling. This garment is so tight, though, that I think I'm getting more pain just from the garment being so tight than the actual incision itself. So I'll probably do a video the day we go back to the surgeon, which is on Wednesday, to have the little bolsters, little yellow bolsters removed to see what it looks like at that point. And then it'll probably be maybe another week or so before I can have the drains removed. Those two plastic sacks that I've got a lot of fluid draining into. So yeah, that's it. And so I will see you guys with another video probably on Wednesday. All right.
3 days later.
This is looking good.
So is it attached? Oh my god, I see it.
I should feel that, but I don't.
No. So that looks good.
That looks good. I'd hate to see what looks bad.
It looks like it's taken. And I'll test it in a sec. We're going to just take these stitches out. A little slippery.
Oh, this is interesting.
I'm glad I'm not queasy.
Alright.
That
So,
would be weird.
so this is fully taken. It'll look funky over time. It may actually slough. It may actually slough the surface layer and look a little raw underneath. So don't panic about any of that stuff. What you're going to do to take care of these is just a thin coat of the antibiotic ointment. It looks like you have a coat on there now. But we're going to also put it over the graft and around the graft. Now, light touch like this isn't going to hurt it, but if you put a gauze over top just to keep the ointment off the garment, that gauze can stick to the graft and you could rip the graft off with the gauze.
So we're not gonna
So
do
when, no, you can put the gauze down, but when you take the gauze off, if there's any sticking, you need to go super slow and just ease that off. If it's stuck and you're afraid, you can wet that gauze to get it off. Now, as far as showers go, you can start showering in, let's say, a couple of days and get all of this wet. Okay, but you want to use room temperature water, and you want to get in and get out. You don't want to sit there and linger in the water. You also want the water to be room temperature, right? Not too hot, because that also can kind of make the graft separate a little bit. Okay, but otherwise they look very good. And your symmetry, everything looks fantastic.
And the color's going to be off for a few months.
Sure.
You know, like the color isn't, it'll come back.
Or at least several weeks.
Yeah.
So we're just trimming the sutures that hold this down.
And the numbness.
The numbness will last for some time. So it'll take, you know, year, you know, plus scars, you know, are always numb. Scars stay numb, but you can get feeling back right up to the scar.
So this, you know, broth lap under my arm here, that's, I mean, that's all numb,
Yeah, but that'll all return.
but up to a year.
No, that the bulk of it will come back quickly in the next weeks to months.
And that would be a pretty average time for a feeling to return.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So we're still changing garments and doing neosporin twice a day. I'm sorry, not garments, gauze.
Gauze. You don't necessarily even have to change the gauze if it's not dirty.
Okay.
You can just add a little neosporin.
But twice a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
The gauze really is just a protective barrier to keep the ointment off of the garment and get everything messy.
so maybe another couple of days before the drains can come out.
Yeah, let's, you know, I could take them out, but if you guys are comfortable taking them out, then it'll give you some extra days of drainage to leave them in.
Totally up to her.
Well, I think it would be healthiest for you.
Yeah, good answer.
So this looks great as well. So they're completely healed. Grab me a little ointment, Leah, and I'll show you guys exactly what I expect. Now, the nipples also, because the bolsters were on, will look a little indented.
Sure.
That all fluffs back out. Okay. All right. So you're gonna put just a light coat of ointment right over and around the nipple and graft along the stitch line.
Okay.
And then a light coat of ointment all the way down the scar. Okay?
Okay.
Like that. Okay? And you don't need much. The sorest areas will be kind of in the middle here and up towards the armpits.
Would you agree with that?
Yep, definitely would agree with that.
And that soreness will go away a little more every day.
Okay. How do you feel seeing your new chest?
Looks great.
I mean, yeah.
So the prominent
It'll get better.
I'm sorry, my
All
brain
this
is scrambled
coloration.
right now.
the prominent
okay.
areas of scar will flatten, okay? And hopefully make a nice narrow scar.
Several bad puns later.
Alright, so here we are, exactly 1 week post-op. And at this point, yesterday, they removed the nipple bolsters. So the little yellow flowers are gone now, and I'm left with what looks like some nipples that will be eventually good to go. So right now, they look a little dark, and the surgeon told me that that's normal, that they will look much better as time goes on. They'll become more natural colored and all that good stuff. So right now, we're looking at an awful lot of bruising, and these drain holes look pretty frickin' rough. But the incisions, actually, the scarring, what might be left, looks like it'll be pretty minimal for me, so I'm really happy about that. Other than that, that's where we're at right now. I think maybe another day or two, the surgeon said I should be able to remove the drains, so that's pretty quick as well. A little more than a week from surgery. And yeah, so I'm really happy so far. Still feeling a little groggy, a little bit of brain fog from, I guess, maybe the anesthesia or just the whole ordeal. I'm not really sure, but otherwise I'm feeling much more comfortable, aside from, you know, of course, the pain from the actual surgery. So I've got this to consider, and I got some working out to do to make my chest fill out a little bit more so that I don't look like, you know. Yeah, these are the lovely drain. My wife has coined them blood bombs. So when they fill up, they look like little grenades. It's kind of gross. But anyway, so the drainage is slowing down, so hopefully those will be gone in a couple of days. Gonna turn the camera back around. And oh yeah, and then all of this scarring, this mounding of tissue right here in the center should go down as well over time. But I think he did a really nice job. The scars are going to be pretty minimal, very small it looks like. And with the scar cream that I have, it should diminish quite a bit over time. Hopefully it'll hardly be noticeable in a year or two. So did not give the surgery enough credence to being as painful and as difficult as it has been thus far. But then again, I'm also not very tolerant to pain, says the person who has 1 million tattoos. So thanks for tuning in. I'll give you an update next time we have any kind of major improvement there.
Tomorrow for sure.
Alright, so we got permission today to remove the drains. So it is now, today's Friday, so it's been 1 week and 1 day since the surgery. So we have clipped the stitch that is holding the drain in place against the outer part of my skin here, and we are ready to pull it out. So they told me I wasn't supposed to feel it, but the drain itself is wrapped around my chest here. So we've already pulled the other one out. I did already feel a little bit of it sliding around in my chest as it came out, so I'm not really looking forward to this one, but it shouldn't be too terribly painful. So here we go, I guess. Yep. Yep, definitely feel it sliding around in my pec again. Oh my god, that's disgusting. What? Yep, and there's that lovely little blood clot afterwards. Okay, there we go. It's all done. Gonna clean up now and go curl up in a fetal position for a little while. Ugh, gross, gross, gross. Ugh. Okay, all done. So I guess this is probably the part y'all been waiting for. The gratuitous before and after. Alright, well, I suppose I can give you that. Ugh. So I'm going to post a photo for you, a side-by-side that will show you the before, right before the surgery, and then pictures as I am right now so that you can directly compare the two. I think my surgeon did a very good job. I would highly recommend him. It is Dr. Drew Schnitt with Inspire Cosmetics, and he currently has a couple different offices, but the one that I went to was in Delray Beach. It might also be listed under Boca Raton, but same place on the east coast of Florida. So I would highly recommend him if you're looking for a fantastic surgeon for your top surgery and you're able to make it to this location. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the